Hey everybody, so this matchup that I'm about to show y'all, I hear a lot of people say that the deck just loses to things like Stony Silence and Hate and whatnot, so this is actually a pretty good game I think to spotlight here, because this deck is all about those cards. This is a really neat deck actually that my opponent played. It looks like it was a combo with that new Black Enchantment that makes people lose the game. Yeah, I shut off my opponent's Font of Fortunes there. Really, I have luck, I have bridge, I have a book decay when I need it. So the game at this point should be pretty much over. This is a weird build that I decided to try. I went with Mishra's Baubles in them. It's kind of a mix between my old budget build and this new one. So somebody in the forums was talking about how they really like baubles, so I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. I never did get like a really crazy hand with the that I was looking for, but so yeah. Fortunately, my opponent has so many dead cards here because all of his or her cards are all about trying to save him or herself, and nothing to actually put me on a clock or anything. Not that there would be anything to put me on a clock with. So my opponent ends up giving up when I lock him or her down on 2 lands for the rest of the game. So on to game 2, there's like all sorts of sideboard cards that come in. So I keep it because that Seal of Primordium and whatnot. So I actually messed up there. I should have played the Bauble and then to look at my opponent's top card and then mill it. So it could have been that Stony Silence that I would have known, but I actually made a play mistake there. Fortunately, I did have the Seal of Primordium. Now, fortunately, Pithing Needle and Ensnaring Bridge don't really need anything to work. They just do work. So that's a neat little bug. I don't know if you see that in Monastery. What the crap? That's really interesting. Monastery Siege there. So now here's where one of the things that Codex Shredder truly shines. The ability to get cards back when I want them. Specifically, just sacking it to get Seal of Primordium. I'm not going to let my opponent have that Stone Silence back. So I just pop, get the seal back, and we're still in business. Now I don't have to use the seal yet, so I don't do it because I don't really have to move my opponent too badly. It's because I can just use the gold color spells instead. So what I'm afraid of here is that, my opponent would draw in a second, so I was holding that seal for a little bit, making sure I had that open mana to play it when I needed to. Opponent made me discard my Codex Shredder, so I got the ruins online, so it doesn't matter. So that's the thing right here. If you notice, my opponent has had a lot of hate on top of the deck. Suppression Field, Leyline, Stony Silence, Suppression Field, Stony Silence, another Stony Silence, another Leyline. But it's a little hard on the opponent if they just can't draw it. So that's why I don't understand. Well, I guess I do understand why people have that misconception, because most decks you have, if the opponent has a lot of hate cards, you just lose. But the thing about how this deck functions is the opponent has to be able to draw those hate cards. So at this point, I have the game. My opponent's at 11 cards, so I have 3 mill rocks, and I can get more mill rocks back, so we're good to go. Yeah, I like how this deck worked. It was kind of neat. I hadn't really seen it, so I told him I liked it. And so I just start milling on my upkeep, and that's when my opponent finally gives up. But yeah, so I thought that would be really good to show. The hate cards would have been good, but my opponent didn't have a clock to put me on. So that's where a lot of the problems are. The hate has to also, or the active cards in the opponent's deck also has to put me on a clock. That's why Jund is probably really a hard matchup, or is a really hard matchup with this deck, because not only do they have hate cards, but nearly every single card in their deck is active. So they have more active cards than we have mill rocks. And so it makes it really hard to control, because unless you're able to somehow stick them onto nothing but land, they're going to win. And then with the opening hand, like if they got a Goyf, that thing is big real quick. Even if I don't mill, I'll typically not mill against a Jund deck, because I don't want that Goyf to get too big too fast and put me on an even faster clock. But yeah, so here we go. That was that matchup.